Isaac is the youngest of 7 siblings and a self-proclaimed world's proudest uncle. His work's purpose is to inform the mind and inspire the heart. I love that. I'll say it again. His work's purpose is to inform the mind and inspire the heart of the next generation. Welcome, Isaac, and welcome to all of you.
You could do a little bit better than that. Match my energy today, 2026. Make some noise for listen to this. Make some noise for yourself. Remember the moments when you took that SAT test. Remember, hold on. I'm gonna keep going. Remember the moments when you got your admission letter and how proud you were of yourself and your family was to be here in this moment. Remember how much work you put in to know that you are at the #1 academic institution in the country. That's it. Good girl. Yeah. How you guys doing? I am, I want to talk to you guys in a real way. I can't tell you how excited and honored I am to be before you all today. I stayed up all night thinking about this moment because I remember now 14 years ago when I was in your seat, class of 2013, getting ready to start my journey as a freshman, like you all are now. It's funny, I was talking to a friend and he's like, man, you get to go talk to the great class of 2026 at Princeton. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you gonna talk to him about? Like, what comes up in your mind? I'm like, what was it about Princeton that was so amazing? Was it the amazing institution, the time that you had there, playing the sports, the people? What? And I was like, man, the first thing that came to me, I can't wait to get to Hoagie Haven. You think I'm joking. Like, I'm from California, so I always thought a sandwich. Yeah. Like, I thought a sandwich was a sandwich. You know, you just lay some, mayo, mustard, your favorite meat, whatever you got. And then, I hit Nassau, took it right, went up. It was one of those, like, you guys haven't been there yet, one of those late nights where you don't make it to the dining hall, so you don't have food yet. So it's like, hey, just go to Hoagie Haven. I'm like, all right, whatever. Walk in. It's like, what do you want? I'm like, I guess I'll have the Heart Stop. Anybody had the Heart Stop? You guys haven't had it. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to write notes right now. The Hoagie Haven experience changed my life. It was an incredible sandwich, and I said, I don't think I'll ever go back to normal sandwiches. And I kid you not, it was one of those things that's so memorable for me. But on a serious note, today we're talking about how do we own our story? Right? The experience of being a freshman at Princeton University, you're gonna have 4 years that you're gonna navigate not only through successes, but also through adversities. And the real question becomes, how are you going to own the story that you are navigating through and ultimately creating? I was thinking I wanted to tell you one quick story because it was something that resonated with me. So I told you guys I'm from California, and my freshman year, as it was mentioned before, I played football here, and I was walking with some friends. I was on campus, and everywhere we would go, from practice to class, I'm walking with my guys, and eventually they'd be like, I always say, like, man, hurry up. You always walk so slow. I'm like, why do you keep saying that? They're like, man, you walk slow. Like, literally the walk, you kind of like, right? And my friends walk like, they're walking, and I'm always like, we'll get there. And we talked about it, and I was like, man, I think when we really broke it down, I'm from California. The weather is amazing. We don't have winters like the East Coast. My friends were from Chicago, New York, New Jersey. It's cold. What do you guys do in the cold? When you're cold and you're outside and you got to walk, right? You go. But in Sacramento, we have such beautiful weather. I'm used to walking anywhere at my own pace. We get to Thanksgiving break. I go back home. I'm with friends back home. All my friends are from California. We get out of the car, we're walking to the movies. I hop out of the car and I go. They go, Isaac, slow down. You're walking really fast. I'm like, oh, my bad. I think I picked that up from my guys at Princeton. And it reminded me of a quote by Sidney Poitier when he says, something amazing happens. Something amazing happens when you walk in pace with someone next to you. Either their pace speeds up or yours slows down. Like someone has to match. And things happen when you're at a college or a university. Every time you meet someone, you're walking in pace with them. Not just talking about the walk, the perspectives that you share. Your perspectives, the way in which you look at the world. Your socioeconomic status, everything that makes you look at the world in a particular way will show up in the walk. And excuse me for a moment, we really turned up earlier. Sorry, guys. But I was sharing that in that moment because oftentimes, and I really wanted to drive this home to you all, in your freshman year, you are going to meet individuals who walk at different paces of life than you. Some are going to walk faster. Some will walk slower. If you're following me, say yeah. If you're following me, say, oh yeah. Good. Let me break this down really quickly. It just clicked for me that oftentimes what we try to do is keep our own pace and think if no one is walking at our pace, we don't need to walk with them. And what I learned was when I can walk at different paces in my life, I am now growing as a person. So now when I'm back in California, I was showing my friends how to walk with a quicker pace. You following me? Right? So now when I'm out here, I've taught and showed some people that sometimes you can slow down. Oh, come on. If you're with me in the back, say yeah. If you're with me in the back, say, oh yeah. By a show of hands, how many of you have met people or seen in your own experience that people will walk at different paces than you? Look around for a moment. Hey, when I say like this, get your elbow. Look around for a moment. Look around. Is that not all of us? Right? Come on, if I can keep it up, you can keep it up. Right? If you're with me, say yeah. If you're with me, say, oh yeah. When you are navigating your own experience here at Princeton, the one thing that I want to remind you all of is to be open to meeting people who walk at different paces of life. It will absolutely benefit you in so many ways. Freshman class, the great class of 2026, I can't tell you how many conversations, late night conversations on this campus I've been in with people who have challenged my own thought process. Like where I came from, like what I thought about, what I thought was right, what I thought was wrong. And over time, instead of just calling it something that was different than my own perspective, what I learned was that I actually grow when I'm able to listen to those who walk at different paces. If you're with me, say yeah. If you're with me, say oh yeah. Number one, allow other people to walk at their pace and never be scared of that. Never be scared of that because it's an opportunity to grow. It's an absolute opportunity to grow when you find people who do their own thing and you can still interact with them in a positive way. Right? Quick story number 2. You guys ready? Story number 2. Quick. So I am playing football here at Princeton University. It's my freshman year. I'm doing all right. And I'm in practice. Guys, we really turned up. Like, I'm at practice. I'm in a blocking drill, right? You know what I'm talking about, the blocking drill? You sure? Okay. Could you take me? Would you win? Yes, sir. Come on now. Really? I like that confidence. Y'all like, that's good. Okay, all right, okay. See me after this, all right? So we're in a blocking drill, and the blocking drill is simple. Anybody who hasn't seen football or doesn't know, I'm up like this, we're back, we're holding like this, man. That's it. Hut, go, and I'm on the offensive side, he's on the defensive side, and you're basically bench pressing each other, right? You're here, you're trying to stay in front, right? Let's just say I didn't win, right? I lose my balance, fall. This wrist goes like this, boom, right here. Remember those hoagie sandwiches I was talking about earlier? You know how they like fold them? At the folds, right? And I fall on top of it, boom. So this part touches this part, boom. It's called a perilunate dislocation. One of the most uncomfortable, painful situations I've experienced. They tell me I'm out for the year, right? They say, hey, your wrist is never gonna actually work the same again. I get like 7, 8 pins in them. So, okay, boo-hoo, I have a cast, right? So now I'm on campus, I can't really compete, playing, but you train, you do whatever you can. But now I'm on campus with a cast. And so I go to disabilities, right? Because it's my dominant hand, and I went to take a test, and I couldn't do anything in the time. So they had to give me a computer so that I could use that for the test. You guys following me? Yeah? So I have to use I appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. So I have to use the computer to take the test. Little things happen in the day where I would go to, it seemed like a little thing, but if I ran into it, it'd be the most excruciating pain because of the pins, right? So there was little things where I had to maneuver through campus in a different way. Opening doors, holding things while moving. It was the first time as an athlete I felt like I was in a situation where I couldn't really fend for myself. You guys following me? If you follow me, say yeah? Okay, so I'm in a situation, it's a little bit different, right? You're used to being an athlete, you have control over your body, you're mobile, and now I'm moving around and I need help. And I'm like, man, this sucks. That's what I'm saying to myself in my mind, this sucks. A moment happens. And I remember the moment to this day. Great class of 2026, hear me what I'm about to say. A moment happens where I remember I audibly said, man, this sucks. I'm at Wilcox, I'm eating, and I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm trying to eat, and things were happening. I'm sitting with friends. I'm like, this sucks. And right as I say, this sucks, there was a young woman who I've never saw or paid attention to with my own eyes in the same dorm, and she goes by. She is in a wheelchair. She doesn't have control of her lower limbs. So she rides around in her wheelchair, and everywhere she goes, things have to be open, she's moving. Mind you, every time I see her now, she has a smile on her face for no reason. No, listen to me. Just the happiest, like moving around, like, hey, how's everything going? I'm telling you guys this out of honesty. I never paid attention to her until that moment. I felt like the biggest loser. I said, man, this sucks. I'm going to be out of a cast in how long? A year? A couple months? And it clicked for me. I said, oh my goodness, I came to Princeton University in the service of all nations, a place that is asking you not only to grow intellectually, but also your empathetic leadership, your emotional capacity, the way in which you see and view other people needs to be in a real and profound way. And I was never open to the idea that someone else's experience could be worse than mine, and they didn't even complain about it. It taught me something, 2026. Oftentimes we move in the world and we think that just our own experience is what we're moving in. And we don't even recognize that we don't even see the adversities, the challenges that other people go through until we get a taste of what they go through. Oh, if you feel me, say yeah, Princeton. Yeah. If you're rocking with me, say oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a moment for me that I was sitting in my privilege and I had no idea. able-bodied, just moving around in campus, and never really I never really had the gratitude for it that I needed to until I was injured. And when I got injured for a moment, I said, this sucks. Why me? Why me? My question to you all, I know I'm talking to young leaders. I know you guys are young, but I know you guys are sharp. I have a question. Let's be honest for a moment. Is there the possibility that sometimes we can move in our own life and we forget that there are others who can't move just like us, and we might forget that their perspective might be different, but it also might be empowering? I need some hands if you're with me. Lock that elbow and look around. Look around for me. I'm looking at leaders right now. This is big for me. This is big. Hold your hand up. This is a moment that's big for me. I want to get this through to you all. We all have advantages. We all come from some type of perspective that is just our own perspective. And sometimes if we can slightly look at someone else's story, we can develop what I call empathetic leadership. We can also see others as they need to be seen. Come on now. If you're with me, say yeah. Can you make some noise for yourself if you understand where I'm coming from? I just need some energy back for me. Come on now. It's a good class. I want to sit on that one more time. Can you make some noise if you know where I'm coming from with this one? So I'm talking to the great class of 2026. And we're talking about being able to own and create your own story. The first point that I want to leave you all with was this idea of what? Can you remember? What was the idea? What was the first point? That's tough. I put you right on the spot, I know. Anybody, and if anybody has it, talk back to me. Come on now, say that one more time. What's your name? Sophia. Everybody say, yes, Sophia. Yes, Sophia. Yeah, give it, come on. Yes, Sophia. Nice. So the first one was walking at a different pace, and I just gave you a second one. What was that second one? One more time. Empathetic leadership. Who is that? What's your name, my man? One more time. Everybody say, yes, Abiola. Yes. Give him some, come on. I wanted to jump here. This is my third piece. This is something that when I get to talk to young people, I have to tell everywhere that I go. And the point that I want to make very clearly to you all is there is power in your own personal story. Own it. Just last year, I had this amazing opportunity. I found myself 9,000 miles away from home in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. I was on a stage like this. There was like 5,000 people in the crowd. There were cameras coming in, and the cameras were broadcasted to 100 countries. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is amazing. I asked the company, I asked the conference, I said, why do you have me here? I work with students. Like, why do you have me here? He said, I've seen you tell your own story, and we have a lot of young people here that need to know the power of their own. He said, I've seen you tell the successes of your story, but in the same vein, I've seen you tell the failures. We saw the story of you talking about how you failed organic chemistry at Princeton University. We saw that. We saw that you said you started freshman year thinking you were going to be a doctor, and somehow now you're a motivational speaker. Something happened. Something happened on that journey. But somehow, through the winding of your own story, you were able to tell that when you went left, you didn't just see it as an adversity, you turned your adversity into your advantage. You allowed your own personal story to not only define you or put you in a box, but it allowed you to actually grow and connect and inspire those who are around you. We saw how much you talked about your mom. You talk about your mom a lot. We love that quote that you say, I come as one person, but I stand as 10,000, meaning that every room that I walk into, I understand that I stand on the foundation of those who have laid the foundation for me. I understand that when I come with this energy, I'm not just talking from myself. I'm talking about the people who literally have sacrificed for me to be here. My mom didn't even go to college. So for me to be at Princeton University talking to the great class of 2026 is an inspiration beyond belief for me. Me being in front of you right now is an absolute dream come true. And when I say these words, I don't just say it for me. I say it with the spirit behind me that says, I know the gift that has been given to me. I know the moment that is now. And so I'm not going to take advantage of it. I'm going to inspire one person that said, man, I think Isaac told me he was in my shoes just 14 years ago. Actually, I was the kid in the back that was probably taking a nap right now, if I'm honest with you. But I was in the same shoes, and to see myself here now, the thing that I want to tell you all is I hope you see a piece of yourself in me. I'm not saying to be perfect. I'm saying to own your story along the way. The adversities that you faced, the failures along the way, it's going to happen, I promise you. I know a lot of you are so used to perfection and great grades and good, but I promise you, Princeton is great because it will test you. I promise you. Socially, academically, or somewhere else, in some way you are going to get tested this year, and I'm asking you in that moment to remember what I'm saying now. That adversity did not come to break you. That adversity came to become the story that you tell when you get past it, and it'll be empowering. If you can feel me right now, I need some yes, I need it. Make failure your teacher when it comes. Here's my story. You ready for the organic chemistry failure? Y'all heard that part? Man, I'm telling you, I thought I was going to be a doctor. I was ready. I walked into this class, organic chemistry. I'm like, all right, I'm ready for it. You know, they give the test. We took it in McCosh Hall. You guys know McCosh Hall? Man, I'm in McCosh. You know, it's intimidating because it's like this, everyone's taking a test at the same time. So you're kind of in there and you're like, so I'm taking the test. I'm there. I'm like, all right. Okay, so he's done, huh? Okay. Okay, so they're all done too? Okay, got it. So I finish the test, right? I finish it, turn it in. Not the professor, but the assistant professor comes a week later. Right? And they're giving out the test. She goes, Isaac, Isaac, come here. It's like, all right. No, come here, I need you over here. So she's going through the test, and she goes, Isaac, did you know there was another half to the test? Yeah. I was like, yes, I actually did. Yeah. I did all I could, Prince. I did all I could. I tried. In no way am I trying to tell you all to fail tests, I promise. I'm trying to tell you what that moment did for me. I failed organic chemistry. I thought I was going to be a teacher. I thought I was going to be a doctor. It wasn't going to happen. I go and meet with the dean. I'm sitting down there saying, hey, do you really want to do this? I relook at what I'm studying. I switch. I go to sociology. The reason I go to sociology is because it's the only option for me that I actually enjoyed the work that I was doing. Like when I would go into classes, I would do extra studying and extra work in those classes. In particular, there was a class, Professor Zelizer. And I took time and I loved it. And I studied and I learned about a particular study in the class, right? The particular study was the strength of weak ties. It was talking about how relationships and money work together. It was talking about being able to cultivate relationships for your personal and professional development. 70% of graduates, when you guys leave, 70% of you are going to get your first internship or job from a network that's around you. This was amazing to me. So I studied that, came back to Princeton, formulated a group with my friend, Jai Falusi, a teammate, Profound Ivy, we're talking to young people about networking. Hey, this is what you have to do to land your first job. I get excited about it, so I take that information and I turn it into a book. 10 chapters, 190 pages. I self-published the book. Hear me, Princeton. A year later, I'm a best-selling author at 26. I'm not telling this story to you to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you something. If you, scratch that, when adversity comes in your path, it will. Don't fret. Switch your perspective and look at it differently. Yeah. Yeah. Hear me, because I'm talking to some really smart, ambitious, young, go after it people. When failure comes, don't let it break you. Understand that you, instead of asking, why is this happening to me, ask the question, what is this teaching me? And it will literally be a tool. I think that adversity in life is the tool that shapes and molds you so you can step out and become who you're supposed to become. Right? When adversity comes, hear me one more time, when the failure hits, when something goes wrong, don't go, God, in that moment, go, all right, life, where do I need to grow? What trajectory are you trying to put me on that's going to benefit me in the greatest way possible? And if you develop that perspective at this age, at this time, grade class of 2026, I promise you, soar like an eagle. You soar like an eagle.